everyone, and welcome back to Heal, Empower, Transform. I'm Caroline, a hypnopsychotherapist, and I'm dedicated to helping you understand and navigate your mental and emotional well-being. Today we're going to be talking about something many people believe but simply isn't true, and that is that anxious is a part of your personality. If you've ever thought, I'm just an anxious person, stick around because I have some important insights that could help shift your perspective. In order to be able to create positive change in the levels of anxiety that we're feeling, it's really important to actually understand exactly what is happening when we feel anxious and why are we feeling anxious. Anxiety is our response to a stress or a stressful situation, essentially a threat to us, whether that's a real or perceived threat. Now, our brain and our nervous system doesn't actually understand the difference between a real threat and a perceived threat. So whether that is actually happening or something that we are thinking might happen or imagining could happen. We will have a physiological response to both of those things. And that response is that our fight, flight, freeze, fawn response is activated. So this is our survival response. And our survival response is designed to keep us alive. And when we perceive that we're in danger, this response is activated. If we respond with a fight response, then we're ready to confront the danger and fight our way out of it. If our flight response is activated, then we have the urge to run away. If our freeze response is activated, then we just shut down and we're immobilized, hoping that the threat will just go away. All of these responses can be very helpful if we are in a physical danger potentially, but they're not very helpful if we're just going about our day-to-day life and this system is being activated. If this system becomes very overactive and dysregulated, then that's when we can end up experiencing generalized anxiety or anxiety over everyday things. So some of the symptoms that you might be familiar with that we can experience with anxiety are racing heart, like increased heart rate, shortness of breath and tightness in our chest. We can get shaky, we can get clammy, sweaty hands, we can get cramps, stomach cramps, we can feel lightheaded, we can feel dizzy, we can get numbness in our hands. There can be lots of different physiological symptoms that we experience, and these are as a result of our body preparing itself for the danger. Real physiological changes that happen are that blood flow is redirected away from our gut and from our reproductive system and directed towards our legs. So we've got a lot of energy and power to be able to run away or to fight. If we've experienced a lot of trauma, a lot of stressful experiences in our lifetime, then our nervous system can become dysregulated and kind of stuck in permanent survival mode. So this survival response is constantly running. And this can leave us feeling anxious, on edge, exhausted, and we can have intrusive thoughts, hypervigilance, we can feel numb, we can feel detached from ourselves, from our surroundings. All of these things are symptoms of chronic activation of our nervous system, and all of these things are reversible, and we can retrain our nervous system to feel balanced again, to be balanced again, and to switch out of survival mode. So you may be in a position where you are feeling generalized chronic constant anxiety, and it can feel, if that's the case, that this is just the way that we are. We can use identifying statements such as my anxiety. We really kind of take ownership of it as if it's a part of us, when it really isn't. It is simply our survival response in action. It is not a reflection of who we are. It is not a part of us, and it is something that we can create some really positive change around so that we don't have to live stuck in survival mode all the time. What are some practical things that you can do to help yourself experience more balance and more nervous system regulation, and therefore less anxiety? So I often use these techniques and tools with my clients. The first one, which is very simple and very, very effective, is breath work. If we're breathing slowly and deeply and in a regular pattern, that signals to our body that we are safe. And if we're able to use breath, we can calm ourselves down if we're feeling anxious. And a really simple way to do that is just to count the breath and to elongate the out breath and shorten the in breath slightly. So breathe in for the count of 4, breathe out for a count of 6. So another technique that I use, which is really simple and effective, is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. This is a way of grounding yourself into the present moment, into your environment and into your body as well. So it's a very simple process where you connect with 5 things that you can see around the room. So I can see a painting, I can see a lampshade, I can see flowers, and then you think of 4 things that you can touch, and then you touch them. So I've got silky blouse, the wood on the table, my jeans, the computer, and just connect with how that feels to touch them. What's the sensation like in your fingers? Then you can connect with 3 things that you can hear. So I can hear my blind rattling a little bit. I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear my own voice. I can hear birds outside the window. And then 2 things that you can smell. I can smell my perfume, I can smell flowers. And then 1 thing that you can taste. So what is it? Got a really nice taste of coffee. So just grounding yourself into what's happening right now, bringing yourself back into the present moment. And then another really wonderful regulating tool or process is to move your body. So going for a walk involves bilateral stimulation, left to right, and something like yoga as well is really, really powerful for relieving stuck emotion, for regulating your nervous system, and for being able to shift that energy that's happening within your body to let go of that anxiety. If you are having an anxiety attack, then you can use cold to help to calm down your nervous system as well. So simply running your wrists under cold water, or getting an ice cube and holding that onto your wrists, because right here the skin is really thin and we've got lots of veins close to the skin. So it's the quickest way to kind of cool ourselves down and to, again, bring yourself into your body and take yourself out of your mind to just reduce the stress response. And the final thing is obviously to, if you need to, feel you would benefit from speaking to someone, seeking some support, then I would always encourage you to do so, as there's lots of other things that can be underlying anxiety, past traumas, things that would be really helpful to resolve with a professional, and therefore making it much easier for you to maintain the balance once you've been able to achieve it. If you are someone who uses the phrase "my anxiety," I would really urge you to change that up, just to shift the way that you speak about it, the way you think about it, the way you relate to what you're experiencing. So everybody experiences anxiety at some point or another. So just understanding it a little bit more deeply and knowing that this is something that you can move on from, that this isn't just who you are, this is just something that you are experiencing. It is a state, it is influenced by your nervous system, influenced by your past, it's influenced by your environment now. There's loads of things that influence it and loads of areas where you can make positive change, and starting with your mindset around it. So understanding that this is not who you are, this is just something that you're experiencing right now, and that it can and will change. If you're relating to this and you're somebody who is experiencing anxiety attacks, panic attacks, then please know that this is not just who you are. You can create change here. Just trying one of the tools or techniques that I shared earlier. Start to take some different, small but different positive actions for yourself each day, and you will notice the benefit. If you found this video helpful, if you could please like, share, subscribe, let me know in the comments. That would be great to hear from you, and share it with anyone who you might feel would find it useful.